in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Hey, welcome everybody to an episode of the Top 10 show that we do for the patrons. It is called Topic Thunder. Now it's an official Top 10 show with that video on there. There it is. I hit the start button a little too quickly before I realized we should play that video first. So, Top 10, I approach Top 10 as like it's just Matt and I hanging out talking about shit. But sometimes I forget you got to put a little bit of professionalism on it. So I apologize profusely to people who were looking for the video. You got the video. Fine. So anyway, so this is, as I said, Topic Thunder. That's right. We're doing our thing here. Matt, what do we got today? How does this all work for people?
So if you're a patron, then you go to patreon.com/top10, and there's an email address listed there, and you just email in your topics for those at the $5 tier and up. So whatever you want us to talk about, and we put this out. It was a Patreon-only show, but now with everybody looking for anything to listen to, we decided to open it up. It's still only for patrons. So you guys know what the email address is. Go over there. I'm not going to say it on this show because it goes to the free feed as well. But it's just whatever in the world they want to hear us talk about, I guess.
Absolutely.
So Ashley Prowls has sent us the first one. And
okay.
No, any of these are before we open them.
Yeah.
So here we go. It says, hey, guys, I was unsure if this tier would allow me to ask a question, but fingers crossed it does. Will you guys ever do a top 10 worst of again? I did enjoy the show where films were shit on. Hope you and your families are both safe during this time. Cheers, Ashley.
I love that. I loved it when you guys tore a film apart, but I hope your family's doing well. Hope your family's well. I hope everything's going all right with you guys. We depending on when we drop this,
this comes out 2 days before this comes out. They hear that show. So we just shit on a bunch of movies. Yeah,
we did. We really did. We can't, we don't divulge the topic before we drop the show, but just rest assured there is a worst episode coming like Matt just said, 2 days after you listen to this one. If you're listening to it on the day we drop it,
2 days before they hear this one.
I'm sorry, 2 days before you hear this one, so we did talk about a worst thing. And I like it's good to do them every once in a while. I tend to veer away from doing too many of those.
I understand why.
Yeah, when it's not about branding or anything. It's more like you're starting to get the vibe that people kind of start to not like those things. There's been a kind of movement here to kill off the worst of lists for magazines and websites and whatever. They say it's offensive to people. Work really hard on the film. I don't know.
But why are we adults? Why are you denying yourself the simple truth that you made a just turd of a movie? It does happen, and sometimes it happens to the best of them.
Oh, sure.
It's inherent kind of in the process when you have that many moving parts and you have so many people that you're relying on. It's kind of impressive that we get so many amazing films that we do.
Yeah, you're actually right. A lot of directors say that it's a miracle whenever you leave a process and you actually have a good film because of all the moving parts, all the decisions you have to make, all the stuff you have to endure. It's always a miracle that you have a good film by the time it's over. So yeah, I totally get it. But yeah, I don't, it's not that I have an aversion to it. It's every once in a while, it's fun to do. That's for sure. Because sometimes people don't go in to make a movie with the best of intentions, and they make a crappy one because of their ego or their arrogance or whatever it is, or their incompetence, and they create a bad movie. And I think, and I've seen so many bad movies now from writers and people on websites. There's always someone to defend shitty movies who want to say it's hot take or whatever the crap they say. I saw someone defending something the other day that I thought was universally accepted as a terrible movie. Oh, Superman 4: Quest for Peace. Somebody was legitimately defending that movie as a kids movie for kids to enjoy. And I just was like, I was going insane reading that, as if kids are a bunch of lunkheads. I don't know. It just drove me insane.
Spoiler alert amongst the two of us. It did not make my list, but it was on my honorable mentions.
Wow. Okay. All right. All right.
I remember being a kid sitting there frustrated, like, why I hate this, like not really being able to process why I fucking hated this movie so much. But I don't have the love for Superman, so it's like, it's not gonna make my list.
Right. It's all subjective, right? And that totally makes sense because I mean, you're not that disappointed because you don't have a love for Superman anyway. So it wasn't that disappointing to you. So yeah, I can understand that.
All right, you got the next one, sir.
Yeah. Let me grab the next one here. Thank you, Ashley, for that one.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Ed Buskirk. Ed Buskirk. Hope you typed this one out. Interesting. Hope you and your families are doing well. Thank you both for all the content you provide. Well, thank you, Ed, for this show and all your shows. I truly appreciate all your hard work. For the quarantine, I have been working my way through the AFI Top 100 films. I think this list was last updated in about 2007. One, do you remember any glaring omissions from this list or any films that have come out since then that you believe would deserve to be added to the list? Stay safe, gentlemen. We're all counting on you. Okay, thanks. Peace, Ed Buskirk III from the Evermore Ministries. Oh, respect. All right, little holy man giving us a blessing. I like it. What's your feeling about this one, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, I pulled up the list.
Okay.
Through and see what's on there. The problem is, what movie was omitted from this? I don't know the 100 off the top of my head.
Right. No, good point. We should bring it up.
If we went through all 100, it's even hard to process what didn't make it because your mind is still kind of wrapping itself on what did.
Right. The question is, then you look at the list and you go, okay, what would I take off? You know?
Okay.
Right. And what would I
nominating things that I think could potentially be taken off. And let's see how far we get.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying so far. All right, City Lights, 1931. I haven't seen it. Talk to me.
Oh, that's the Charlie Chaplin film. You kidding?
That's
is it? Film. Yeah, it's Charlie Chaplin film, City Lights. That's a damn good film, and on Criterion as well. I don't look at one to take on. The General is that's number 18. The General is Buster Keaton.
Tootsie. I take Tootsie off.
You take Tootsie off? What?
I take Tootsie off.
You're insane, man.
E.T. I take off.
E.T. I might lobby to have taken, especially that high. E.T. should be down in the 70s or 80s if it's going to be on this list at all. It should not be 24. You can tell me E.T. is better than In the Heat of the Night? Are you out of your fucking mind? Come on.
The problem is we are in the minority about our distaste of E.T.
I think it's objective, though. Even though we don't like the movie, we could still objectively believe it deserves to be on the list. I don't mind that it's on this list. I just think it shouldn't be that high, you know?
MASH, 1970?
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't hold up as strongly as you would think.
It never really piqued me. I much prefer the TV show that I watched on reruns.
Okay. I would probably move Sound of Music a little bit lower.
I'm talking about, bumping off. Is there anything
bumping off, yes.
Take off.
I would take Nashville off. I've never understood why people like that movie. Okay. It's never done a thing for me. Sullivan's Travels is an interesting movie. I think the only reason it's on here is because of the thematic nature of the movie. But overall, it's not that great of a movie, in my opinion. I'm sure there are people screaming at us right now for this ripping off these films. Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans from 1927. I don't think that needs to be on the list. I'll be honest.
What about it? 96. Do the Right Thing. Do you think that's one of the 100 best films?
I do. I think Do the Right Thing should be even higher than 96.
I like his other movies better.
What, but Malcolm X is a flawed film. It's not that strong of a film. Do the Right Thing is a cohesive film that works within itself. Malcolm kind of goes off the rails as the film goes on. And that's the problem with Malcolm. And Do the Right Thing. I mean,
I like Black Klansman more.
Okay, you can make an argument for that, but
I like Inside Man more.
Certainly a better constructed film, more mature film. Yes, that's a fair point. I think Do the Right Thing because of the social impact it had in '89. This idea of this kind of story told when people weren't allowed to tell this kind of story, when black people weren't allowed to do this in the mainstream, and so because of studios, not because they weren't allowed legally or anything like that.
All right, I got 3 quick fire for you.
Okay,
Platoon.
Yeah, I might take Platoon off. I think I would agree with you, my man. Not in
Adios.
Yeah.
I understand why it's on this list, but Easy Rider, no thanks.
Yeah, I'd probably take Easy Rider off. It's
a bunch of vignettes stitched together because they're driving across country.
Yeah, great point. Great point.
And in the minority, more than likely, once again, no way is this top 100. Titanic. It's a good movie, but top 100? No.
Yeah, I think you could make a case to move Titanic off. I think you absolutely can make a case to move Titanic off. Some of these rankings, man, I want to do a whole show where I'm bitching about the rankings. Why is 12 Angry Men 87 and Annie Hall is 35? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? Or Best Years of Our Lives at 37? No.
Maybe do a Patreon exclusive where we do our top 100.
Oh my God, that'd be great. Well, will we use this or will we create our own list?
No, we create our own.
That's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, no. 1 week we just do 100 through 90 or whatever, 91.
Oh, I see. 10 a week.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, do something like that. I don't know.
We should make it a live show. We should make it a live show so people can chime in and get upset with us and argue films with us. That would be fun. I would like that.
Yeah, I'd be in on that.
Yeah. I would move 1917 into the top 100 immediately. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind I would put in the top 100 immediately.
What about American Graffiti? Is that
I wouldn't. No. But that's wait. Is it on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take that off.
It's 62.
Wow.
So it's better than Network, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Unforgiven, Clockwork Orange, Saving Private Ryan, Shawshank Redemption, Butch Cassidy. It's like bullshit.
That's all a lie.
Rams, In the Heat of the Night, All the President's Men, The Wild Bunch, The Apartment, Spartacus. Like, there's no fucking way American Graffiti is better than those movies.
Yeah, Spartacus is a better film. And that's the problem. Look, if you're called the American Film Institute, not the American I Like These Movies Institute, then you've got to honor the rankings of these films a little bit better, in my opinion. You know, there's no way that technically or overall that American Graffiti is better than a majority of the films below it. Or in the Heat of the Night, man, In the Heat of the Night should be in the top 30, man. That is an incredible film. Yeah, Sound of Music I would move a lot farther down the list for sure.
Star Wars does not make the list.
Ooh, you wouldn't put Star Wars. Ooh.
No. I'm saying on this. So American Graffiti makes it, and none of the Star Wars do.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, none of the Star Wars. You'd have to move wouldn't you have to move one of the Marvel films into here? You'd have to, right? At some point?
Yeah, you would.
Right?
I think if we're being honest, of the best movies of all time, okay, any of these on this other one basically carry the burden of 21 other movies.
Yeah.
Say you chose Endgame.
Yeah.
And to successfully pull that off, it's a testament to the overall artistic brain trust that all the different directors, the writers, the actors, and up at the top. That's a monument of cinematic achievement.
Yeah. I would get you. I got one. You can take number 50 completely off the list.
Well, of course, for you.
Well, no, because the Fellowship of the Ring isn't even the best one of the trilogy. It's the second one. And if you move the second one on Two Towers, I would have no complaints. I'd even have less a complaint if you put Return of the King on over Fellowship of the Ring.
Of those two, I think Return of the King should make it. No one likes Two Towers.
What? The Helm's Deep fight is incredible.
I know. It's my favorite. It's not even close to me. That's my favorite one. Yeah. And I like them and you don't, but I think it would be Return of the King won the Oscar. Right.
So that should be the one up there.
More than likely, yes.
Yeah. A Fellowship should not be up there. But then it's 2007. When did I think Return of the King won what year? Maybe it was right after. I guess it was right after.
Yeah, so, maybe. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So I would definitely put some of the more recent ones in there because I think there's some, honestly, there's got to be a Denis Villeneuve one in the top 100, right? Don't you think?
And some like, Parasite and Jojo Rabbit were my two favorite movies of 1917, all three, but all three were just all-time classics.
Yeah.
Utterly different. And there's three that I prefer over, I don't know, so far like 7 or 8 on this list.
Yeah. I would put even Social Network. I would absolutely put Social Network in there.
Okay.
Just for its statement about,
yeah,
what it's saying, what about the world.
I'll be intrigued if that one holds up in 20 years.
Yeah, you think so? Really? People are rediscovering it now.
True. I don't know, but it's so. Is Facebook even going to be around to basically bolster its relevance?
That's a fair point. That's actually a fair point. What about for you? What about Lincoln? Would you put Lincoln in there?
It'd be part of the discussion for me. But if I'm in my top 100, that's a lot of movies.
It is a lot of movies, bro. That's a lot of movies.
It's a shit ton of movies. So to go through and genuinely, and I've got huge blank spots from earlier film.
Yeah.
Only so many that I've gone back for because we still churn out a ton of work, every year in the biz.
Yeah. Like Zero Dark 30. I don't know. Maybe I can make a case for that. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that makes my top 100 personally.
Okay. All right. Oh, No Country for Old Men wouldn't, or There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
Come on. That's got to make the list.
Exactly. There's no Coen brothers on that list.
Yeah.
No P.T. Anderson.
Right.
And there's no, Scorsese has Goodfellas, and I think that's it.
And Scorsese and Goodfellas is way down on the list.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue Get Out.
Okay.
You could argue Get Out. And what's the other one I just looked? Oh, Mad Max Fury Road. That's another one you could argue. You could make an argument for it. I would take it over to American Graffiti. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah. Well, that's like an unfair fight. I don't even understand why American Graffiti, how is it so revered that it even made this list?
Yeah. It shouldn't be on over Star Wars.
It's interesting because it was like, a bunch of young actors and a young director made it, a period piece in essence.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, it's because it was like the youth of everybody who was voting. That's probably why.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
You got Lucas, you got Ron Howard on the tail end of his acting before he gets into directing. Young Harrison Ford. And then after that, it's a who's who of great actors that worked steadily for the next 2-3 decades.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember the question. What was the question? Did we take some? Oh, that was, I think we did.
Yeah. Take, add. All right. So the next question on Topic Thunder.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That was a damn good question, Ed Buzzkirk.
It was, Mr. Buzzkirk. And if you're looking to us for salvation in this COVID times, you might want to prepare that doomsday. Listen to Alex eat that neighbor's ass. Get in there. That's such a. I love that's not how he said it, but that's how the internet extrapolated.
Yes, yeah, I love it.
I watched the clip after I read the little thing, and I was like, what? What? And then I watched it, and I'm like, okay, he said the phrase. Just that I beat his ass. You do a lot of things to his ass,
right?
But I'll eat my neighbors. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, this is from Josh Lawrence. It says, "Hey, John and Matt, I'm a letter carrier in Morgantown, West Virginia. There you go. And your guys' podcast helped me get through the day quicker. Matt, have you ever been to any WVU football or basketball games growing up? I went to the 13-9 game when WVU lost to Pitt to go to the national championship game. Wasn't the very best memory. Wasn't the best memory ever. John, did you have a memorial FSU game?
Probably I don't know. What's memorial FSU game?
My guess is memorable.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say memorable. Right on. Okay.
I went to one that I can remember. It was for the Mountaineers games.
Okay.
It was when Major Harris was the quarterback and they went to the national championship and lost to, I think it was Notre Dame.
Yeah, Major Harris. I remember him.
I watched in that season. I went to one game. Then I want to say I went to one other game, and I went to one basketball game.
Huh.
Those were the Mountaineers. I think two for sure. I want to say I went to a second football game.
Right. Real quickly, I did cheer for West Virginia for a long time in the 90s and early too, because I had a friend whose dad had gone to West Virginia, so he was a big West Virginia Mountaineer fan. So I kind of like gravitated to as one of the teams that I cheer for in college football. So I always enjoyed their games when they were on top, when they were winning. So, and I remember that national championship game with Pitt. I remember that. It was so insane. A memorable FSU game, honestly, the national championship game when we beat Virginia Tech, certainly. But I would say when Chris Ricks threw that pass to beat Florida in the back of the end zone with time running out on the clock to win the game, that is my most memorable FSU game. I lost my freaking mind. I was hoarse for like 3 days because I yelled so fucking much. I'd never seen us. Because Florida was always stomping our asses. And so like when we
won, Miami too.
Yeah, and Miami too. We couldn't hit that those field goals twice. I mean, we have FSU has a completely different legacy if we can beat Miami on those 2 field goals, like a completely different legacy. But with Florida, it was that Chris Ricks, because we never get the best of Florida. And to see him throw that ball all the way to the end zone, right as the time was expiring or about to expire, and win the game against Florida, that was incredible. So that would be the most memorable FSU game for me, other than the national championship game, where I was. But I guess I'm wrong. I went to the national championship game here in California. I forgot, in Pasadena. Okay. I went to the Rose Bowl to see them beat Auburn. I was there the whole time. That was very memorable. We were sitting amongst a whole sea of Auburn fans who were very kind, very gracious, and dealt with us winning the game very well. We didn't over-celebrate until they all had cleared that section, and then we started celebrating. But certainly that's a memorable experience for me. But so that Chris Ricks game, and then actually being at the national championship live to see Jameis win it was pretty incredible. So yeah, those are my memorable games.
The nice thing though about like national championship game is it prices out all the dipshits.
Oh, it really does, because it sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive to go to a game with those kind of stakes.
Yeah,
but it just keeps out anybody that would be reckless, because once you've spent that amount of money, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
it's really difficult to go out of your way to screw that up.
Yeah, $700 just to act the asshole. It doesn't make sense. You're right. You're right. All right, let's do one more as we're wrapping up here, I think. Thank you, Josh, for that question. Fred Tastic 314, he says, hey, fellas, Matt and John, thought I'd throw a sports question at you. If COVID 2019, 2020, I love that, 2019, 2020, like it's a season. If COVID-19/20 is still a serious issue in America, can the NFL survive with empty stadiums and only taking TV revenues? I know the networks can pump in stadium noise over the air, but can the players play to their potential without the crowd? Thanks for taking my email. Have a great day, and I'll keep listening. Fred Castillo. All right, Matt, what do you think?
Well, as recording this, so the NFL schedule comes out a week from today.
Yeah, supposedly.
That'll tell us exactly what they intend on doing. I've listened to a couple different podcasts about the discussion. So Simmons had 2 ideas that I think I heard there first, which is one, basically just finding a few different geographic locations and putting a bunch of teams there, and they have a schedule amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, cleaving off some of the Sunday games and making a Saturday package, and then selling that off to the highest bidder to make up for the lost revenue from in stadium.
Right.
From all the concessions, the 8 home games that every owner relies on to make their payroll of the TV rights and all that.
Yeah.
If we're still in this same situation where it's a lot of home time, someone is going to pay through the nose, whether it's Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah.
Or someone else. But I think one of these streaming teams, Amazon already has the Thursday game.
Yeah, they do.
So perhaps Netflix wants to get in on this, or Hulu or Quibi or somebody else. There's going to be a bidding war that can make up for a lot of it.
It'd
be weird though, because basketball is one thing, as I've heard pointed out numerous times. But once you look at a football roster and the size of the training staff and the health staff and everything else, it just dwarfs, every other team, even baseball.
Yeah,
to have a moving parade of a couple hundred people anytime they go play a game.
Right. I think all these proposals are very cute and very sweet, and I appreciate the pie in the sky approach to it, but let's fucking deal with reality. And that is, these athletes are not going to keep their penises in their pants for 3 or 4 months and not sneak a woman into their bedroom, or not sneak some woman or not try to get out and meet somebody, or Tinder or Bumble or whatever they want to do. There's just no way, dude. There's just no way. I think young men with that kind of, sex drive at that age, in that shape, are just going to sit around for 4 months with other dudes and just not, give in to their carnal desires. And it doesn't even have to be a starter, man. It can be the 52nd guy on the roster who sneaks out and has sex with somebody or messes with somebody, catches that shit, and then gives it to somebody else.
What if, so you take that concern and you take it to the Players Association and be like, we need your help with this. If we're going to make this work, we need all your players to buy in. So let's create a penalty that you can agree to.
Yeah.
So you get caught cheating, say, okay, if you did it by, all right, you've been in the league for X number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if you've been in the league for like 7 years and you do this, then you automatically lose the rest of this year's checks once it's found out and next year's.
Yeah.
If you've been,
wow, that's strong.
Yeah, 3 years or less, it's guaranteed this year, next year, and the year after.
Wow.
In the league, because you have to penalize it to the degree because they all want to get their salary, their money.
Right.
You have only been in the league a short amount of time. Those are the guys that are going to fuck off most.
Yep.
They're not as invested in this. If it's somebody's like 1 to 2 years in the league and you're barely hanging on, if you get caught, you're banned for life.
Yeah.
And then if we can have some sort of like that where there's an incentive, basketball, I think, can get it done. Football, 53, 54 dudes. Because basketball, they only need to get to 70 games, and then they fulfilled their TV obligations to all their local contracts.
Right, but then you got to jump into playoffs. So
true,
if
but
we don't
you
have
just
it,
now
right.
But all those teams have an investment in the outcome of these games more than anything else.
Yeah, true.
And especially too, if you like the first round is only a best of 5.
Yeah,
the amount of time that these guys, because once you flip off 7 and 8 from the playoffs, everybody else usually has somewhat of a chance.
Yeah.
When one team is like, boom, they're going to make it out of this conference.
I mean, I just think it always comes down. Yeah, and I think it always comes down to self-destructive impulse of athletes. Athletes have, when they're young, they think they're indestructible. Look at what's happening now. All these idiots, these yokels running to the fucking beach, or that crazy shit that happened to the Michigan State House, all those idiots cramming into that contained space. They're going to spread it. And so it's like, if those fools are going to do it, you don't think athletes who are making millions of dollars don't think they're indestructible? Even more so, the hubris of thinking that you're somehow elevated because you've got talent in the sports arena. It'll give you the arrogance to think you can go and run off and have a quickie in a hotel closet. And that girl may have something that, you just don't know, because there are asymptomatic carriers, and then you're carrying this shit around, and then you start spreading it, and then boom, it only takes 1 or 2 people to come down with this shit, and then it's all done.
But I think the difference is basketball can be done on location. They're talking about Disney World, right?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Because the teams are small enough. 2, basketball only has a fractional amount of time left, whereas NFL, if you're going to do this,
it's
quarantining within a month.
Yep.
And then figure out all the sites, and you're asking players to do 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Basketball players max, it's going to be 3.
Well, what I read today
on out in a month.
Yeah, and what I read today, Matt, on ESPN is the NFL is starting to explore opening their workout facilities to the athletes, but only 5 of them can be there at a time, and they're cordoned off away from each other in separate sections of the training facilities so that they don't come in contact with each other. And that's a weird situation, because you can't keep that schedule up. Can for them to get back in shape, sure, but you got to practice. You got to get on the field.
Yeah, we're still a little ways from that.
That's what I'm saying. No matter what precautions you do, people are still going to breathe on each other, And now the reports coming out of Wuhan, and I know people are like, oh, why you believe in China, whatever with that. It might be airborne now. They caught some airborne particles. If this thing goes airborne, fucking forget it, dude. It's all shutting down. It's all shutting down, man. There's no way that exists.
Well, we'll just rush a vaccine into we'll forego the 18 months of human trial.
People just volunteer, man. People will just volunteer. Oh, you froze a little bit, man. Are you there? Let me see. Let me take Matt off, and when he comes back, when I see him moving around down there, Matt, are you back? All right, cool. You froze for a little bit, man, so I took you down until your thing came back up. All right, well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, both of us obviously follow the NFL and NBA, passionately, and wanted to come back, but you don't want it to come back at the expense of these young men and these young athletes. Because sometimes you do got to do the hard thing to do what's best for them, because their desire just to play and take their chances, that's what you are when you're young. But when you're older, you realize that can lead to a lifetime of some serious issues, even playing the game.
Yeah.
So
the ripple effect of this, we felt, all of us, for the next, 3 to 5 years, I would guess.
Yeah.
Depending on when it ends. If it drags on, the longer it drags on, it's going to take a while. We'll get out of it. We'll be back to normal. It will happen. It's just going to be a while.
Yeah, just going to be a while. All right. Well, thank you so much for that question. Sorry. What's the name here?
Fantastic, Fred Castillo.
There you go. Fantastic. Fred Castillo. Thank you so much for that question. And that's, I think we should wrap it up there. We're at 30 minutes on this episode of Topic Thunder. So thank you all so much for sending in your questions. Hope you all enjoyed our conversation. I thought we had got some fun conversations. This is the kind of thing you can expect from this show. So becoming a patron means you get to send in your questions to initiate these kinds of conversations. Have us mention you multiple times while we talk about your question. And who knows, you feel some kind of pride that you got me and Matt to get in deep on a question of yours. So that's a reason to become a patron as well.
Please hit us up over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost. And that's it for me.
There you go. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And please come on over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says, and sign up there and find me on Twitch on the Outlaw Nation as well. I'm doing that craziness now too. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time for another brand new episode of Topic Thunder.